gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe, here in this great hall of justice, are the most powerful forces of good ever assembled. Dedicated to truth, justice, and peace for all mankind.
Welcome, everybody. We're back again, and we're talking about Injustice 2. This is a review. This is one of our subscribers who was interested in us in talking about this.
Start again.
Okay.
Hello, you want to find out who he is? Let's call him out.
You gotta give him a shout out.
Sorry.
The reason we're wearing this band because we went to Big Apple Comic Con. That's why. You know?
I don't have my beer. Oh, there it
You
is.
took it off already?
How was it?
We liked it. It was pretty good. We're going to talk about it next session. You should
That was a lot of work, man. I was on my.
for him, but for the rest of us, we had a good time. A lot of cosplay chicks. Pete
Oh,
is
my
going to
Oh yeah. What's her
know,
name?
we saw-
Starfire.
Starfire.
And there was some guy who had his girl with him. My goodness, he was like on her all the time. And I was like, yeah, you need to stay on her, man.
Lord.
She was.
So, that guy, Randy, I might as well hold it and you can give it to me after we start.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Spinnerack. Today, we're doing a special show for Randy21765, one of our subs. He wanted us to talk about Injustice 2. Of course, we have superstar himself, Professor BX, PD, Cal, and we're going to tell you how great we think this is going to be based on the old Injustice, Gods Above Us. Okay?
And this is big business since he didn't introduce himself.
Well, I never introduced myself. So
Yeah.
look, continuing forward. If this is anything as good as Injustice,
Oh God.
Gods Above Us, with the High Counselor, Superman being the evil High Counselor in this alternate universe, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. Okay? I like the character, I like the gameplay, but you know what? Let me not give my own opinion. Let me give the opinion of our guest.
I mean, just to be just transparent up front, I don't know too much about Injustice other than some of the comic book stuff I saw come out about it. This whole alternate universe in which we get the anti-Superman that everybody's wants in terms of a Punisher. I'm not really with, but other than that, I mean, I get what everybody's excited about. I get the whole kind of we get to see him be bad. Everybody wants to see Superman be bad. So yeah,
It'll be true to his nature.
Lord.
You know, it should be that way too. I would ask you, Cal, but we know your clear bias.
Yeah, you want to see how strong my hand is? Okay.
Petey, can you please enlighten us on what your thoughts about this?
I guess it's hard to have issue with something that's been rolling. So it's like a steamrolling with all the fans.
That's.
But-
Are you serious?
Fans, what I'm
And
saying,
sales
Lord.
and critical
I'm saying
reviews.
that's what people are buying it for. They're buying it for these battles because it starts from, I guess video games where you can have the Marvel people fight each other
Right.
and not fight villains. But that's ultimately what I would want is, let's see Superman fight something like a video game. This is his obstacle, which is this villain or whoever it might be. And then you can link in the rest of the superheroes. But, this is for that fan group that wants this sort of thing where you have Wonder Woman fighting that and somehow
huge fan group.
Green Arrow is fighting Cyborg.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
understand.
Batman's fighting Superman.
Yeah,
Wonder
still,
Woman's fighting,
that's
Aquaman's
as
fighting, so-
ridiculous as the other. So, sorry.
Ooh.
It
I don't
is.
want to take offense because I know this is your personal opinion. I know you may have been blinded by Cal, but come on, let's be serious.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I can't. The fans are gonna want what they want. So they want this. They're getting it in spades. And otherwise, I would say to keep this thing going, you can have more. You can have someone get mind control and have a fight here or there. But have some villains. I don't want to see Darkseid at the end. And what? They all team up. We all team up and fight Darkseid. No, it's got to be one-on-one. It's a video game, so I don't know.
Mario.
If I could grind my teeth, I would grind it. Okay, but you know what? I have to save it for this guy because I know the negativity he's going to start bringing towards here. Did you like the gameplay? I'm going to ask you a very simple question.
No, wait a minute. You didn't ask anybody else that. And now you're asking me if I like the gameplay?
I know.
Step aside.
Because they're being fair and balanced.
Step
okay?
aside.
Unlike
Step
you.
aside.
Fair and balanced. That's
Here's
all I'm
fair and
asking.
balanced. Injustice, okay, the first game was so popular, it spawned a comic book. That comic book was off the charts popular. They don't know how well it sold, but it sold so well that it is still going on now. And it's been at least 4 years, okay? And I can't think of another I can't think of another comic book that was based on a video game that has gone this long. So it does resonate with readers to a certain extent who want to see this type of story. They want to see not even a flawed Superman, but just a cracked, okay, a cracked mirror version of Superman, and they love it. Okay, we were at Comic-Con today.
Big Apple Comic-Con.
Yeah, Big Apple Comic-Con. Got into a conversation with someone, and he was one of the things that I thought it really resonated with me. He was like, "No, you can't be Superman, have all that power, and not just lose it. Okay, eventually you gotta lose it. You gotta kill somebody. You gotta punch somebody." And I said, "But that's not the character." And I went into all this, breakdown of the character and a whole bunch of other stuff. In one ear, out the other. Why? Because a lot of that stuff doesn't resonate because we have not shown any stories where heroism is put forward in a manner that is appealing, attractive, or even digestible. We think heroism is anathema to being a human being. That's being a sucker, okay? Why do any of that? But the first video game had a very tight story, and it was pretty much should have been to itself. Superman loses it after the Joker kills Lois Lane, and Lois Lane is pregnant at the time with Superman's child. So he can't bear this. He loses. He kills the Joker, and it's just a spiral after that. He ends up taking over the world. Batman, of course, is the one who's going to resist him. Batman's on the run from him for 5 years. He finally realizes he can't stop Superman. He needs to get help. They go to another universe, and they bring back the proper Justice League from that universe, the good guys. At the end, you know who had to defeat the evil Superman? Superman. The real one. He had to come and defeat him. So when I looked at that story, I was like, okay, good. At the very least, these writers understood that this guy over here with this limitless power, there's none of these other guys who can check him with the exception of this guy, the guy who's for right, okay, the guys for truth and justice. That pretty much gets undercut when you decide to go to Injustice 2. And yes, they need to have Injustice 2: This time, it's really for the money because that's what we're coming at it for. The gameplay, I have to admit, look, and the gameplay is never what it looks like. If you're a gamer, you know the gameplay is never what it looks like here. Those are cut scenes, and that does look compelling. But the gameplay does look interesting. We see new characters in terms of Supergirl. It would be cool to see what Darkseid has to offer, but Petey's right. I don't want to see these guys, all the heroes, fighting each other, and then at the end, oh, it's Darkseid. We got to band together, guys, because in that first video game, Superman is irredeemable. Okay, there's no bringing him back. He literally kills so many people at the end of the day. You can't wash that away and say, well, look, he fought with us against Darkseid. Maybe he can come back and be the hero he once was. No, that totally undercuts it. But it's very much like I said with the other things. It's about story. If you don't care about story and all you really care about is, hey, as long as I get those fan wank moments that I really need, you'll be okay. But there's a reason why a lot of these video games resonate. It's because those cutscenes do play a very good story. It's not just the gameplay, but it's also the story that goes behind it. They've done a very good job with that. So I'm interested in seeing what Injustice 2 has to offer on the whole. I didn't care. I really don't care for a cracked version of Superman. I think it just totally undercuts the character. It totally gives people what they want as opposed to what they need. And when you do that, it's very hard to give them something positive because you keep giving them the lowest common denominator in terms of what they think they want so you can make money. And then eventually they get tired of it. They bottomed out on it, but you can't give them the other stuff. You can't give them the other stuff because it's like somebody who's been taking something so long, nothing else is going to do but this, even though they can't feel it any longer. But aside of that, I'm interested in seeing how the game goes.
I like most of your stuff, and you're right. I like the gameplay, the way it looks. I like the way the game played, the actual gods among us. I like the fact that the different characters can fight each other. I think when you tell the audience that this is not the right way to look at this, that they're not smart enough.
Why are you putting words? Why are you putting words in my mouth so you can do? You're doing what you're accusing me of.
I'm basically telling.
You're trying to school the audience to they'll be against him. Don't listen to this.
I'm basically saying what you're saying. No, none of those code words or alternate facts or what fake news. I'm giving it to them. You're saying the audience isn't smart enough to see who Superman is.
You get an alternate slap. You can do that.
All I'm saying is that we get the good Superman at the end. We get the good Superman who comes in. Appreciate that. You know what I'm trying to say? There can be a bad Superman. I
already spoke to all of this.
You know what I'm trying to say? We all know the environment. What is it? Nurture,
Nature and nurture.
Nature and nurture, and we know that because he lucked out. And
You just said we all know the environment, and you didn't know the words.
No, I'm saying well, he helped me out. Professor BX at least is helpful here, unlike some other people. But like I was saying,
Don't you have to hold back? You can let that laugh out, man.
look, what I'm saying is if you can hold it back. All right? The problem here is that we see he grew up in a nice, Tanzanian.
It's
what-
the archetypical hero.
All I'm just saying.
It's
is
the
that we gotta give
archetypical
it-
hero. No. You know what? No.
People now want to see something different.
Professor
Want to see
BX.
something
No,
different.
Professor BX can speak to this. I know he's done his research. He knows all about the archetypical hero, the traditional hero, and what is the formation of that particular hero. It's not an anti-hero. Go ahead. Tell him. Tell
What I'm
him.
saying, look,
You're gonna cut off the guest. You're gonna cut off the guest.
hold on a second.
He was about to talk. You cut him off.
I'm
Rude.
glad to let
Rude. Must be
Professor
from
BX in.
must be from that isthmus. I can only think of that's the only reason I can think of you being that rude.
That's the other 52nd Street. That's at Clarendon. That's at.
Professor BX.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, I understand what he's saying. Okay, so like Superman is a hero born. So whether or not he was going to be raised by Martha and Pa Kent, he would have still been good. He was enhanced by having that really good couple who could teach him humanity and the best of it. He lucked out in that regard. But in my theory, in terms of who Superman is, he would have still been that same moral character.
Wait.
the
So
same
if he
moral
was,
Why- let the man
if he
finish.
was raised by,
Let the man
If
finish.
he was raised by Joker and
Just ignore him. Don't answer that question. Finish your point.
You're trying to say he's still going to be good? I totally disagree with that. You know what I'm trying to say? You can't go away from
You can't be raised by the Joker, man. You
I'm
can't
just
be
saying, if
raised
you're
by the
raised like somebody
Joker.
like the Joker or somebody like Deathstroke or somebody like
You can't be raised by those people.
Oh, you mean like his father
have
in Man of
kids.
Steel?
no, not
Who tell him kill?
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's fine.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Look,
you should.
maybe.
For Cal, we.
Then I come back in the sequel and give you more bad advice.
See, for Cal, we never bring up Man of Steel, right?
Can you finish, please? Can you finish?
I mean, for the most part, I was finished. Like his character, he's gonna be inherently good because he is by nature that moral person.
I totally disagree.
The archetypical hero.
Smallville.
The archetypical hero is
I quote Smallville.
All 15 seasons, man.
I quote the
Superman matches up that. They're like 10
No,
points.
no.
There are 10 points that are like the archetypical hero.
Five more?
One of them is that the hero is usually an orphan. Okay, the hero usually has surrogate parents. The hero spends his formative years in some idyllic place where they are able to learn the best values about humanity before going off into the world
But
proper.
we got that.
Superman, Wonder Woman. Okay, they have that particular origin.
Is someone who? What happens if someone doesn't get that? Someone who.
But that's not this story. He was raised with that. And they decided to counter all of that by saying, look, let's kill his wife and son and put him on the path of destruction.
America, in the year 2017, the 21st century, people don't want to see all that. They want to see something that's a little bit, they want to feel that this person has flaws, that this person is a person, not a God amongst us, the high counselor himself. You know what I'm trying to say?
That is so much malarkey. I don't know. Where do you come with all this?
It's true, but it says more about us as a culture.
No.
I mean,
See,
I see that, but I don't agree with it.
what you keep going for. That's not what people necessarily want to see. That's what you're selling. Okay, and you're convincing the people. You're doing a P.T. Barnum, making a gray elephant white. Okay, that's what you're doing. That's what you're selling. And if you promote it and you market it to the point and you keep using phrases like we need to make characters relatable, well, we can't relate to any of these characters. We're not billionaires or aliens from other planets. But if you keep selling that and people aren't thinking about it, they'll take it.
So, but you're saying that people are stupid when they make choices?
No, that's what you're saying.
That's what you're
That's
saying.
what you're saying.
Not what I'm saying.
And
I'm
everybody
saying-
just heard him say
That's
it.
what he's
So
saying.
see, he's trying to
I don't
sell you
think-
like P.T. Barnum.
Not at all.
Don't
I'm
fall
saying
for it.
you give
He's
the
trying to
people-
whitewash the elephant.
You
Trying to
give the people
whitewash
what they
it.
want. If the people want the white elephant, give them the white elephant. But you're saying they're too dumb, so that's why they're getting the white elephant. I
No,
totally disagree.
you're saying
I
that
think that you guys
because
are
you've
some
got
of
the resume
smart-
out. You still have the resume out to
my
Warner
God.
Brothers and Disney. You're trying to keep this show whitewashed. You're not trying to come over here and put out some decent points, okay? And I'm here to check you. I'm fighting for truth, justice, the American way, and against your malarkey,
I'm
okay,
here to
at the end of the
fight
day.
for fair and balanced, okay? That's all I want to do. Fair and balanced, no alternate
I
news.
can't believe you
That's
just
what I want to say.
you just freaking prop Fox News on the show. What are you doing?
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
Did I say that?
Oh, good.
Wait a second. So let's.
I don't know.
Gameplay.
Wait a second. Wait. Let's instead of saying him going bad, let's do what the Super Friends did. He tries to stop a volcano, and he's blown into another alternate universe, and then the bad Superman comes in and beats up everybody.
And then we realized why we need the good Superman. But no, I thought
was a
Professor
fun
BX.
theory.
I thought
That's
Professor
fun
BX
episode.
brought a good point up, where they keep pushing this narrative that we as people are flawed. I don't think a lot of people understand what that means. That means there's something defective about us
Totally
as
disagree.
people.
Totally disagree.
That's what it means to have a flaw. Not
Totally
that we
disagree.
make mistakes and learn from them, but that we're flawed. Something that is flawed is not imperfect. Something that is flawed is defective. It's like a chair with 3 legs. Okay?
I
And the
totally-
best that we can hope for is that we'll balance until finally that we're going to fall out of that chair. And that's not what human beings are.
Totally
We
disagree.
learn from our mistakes for the most part.
one of
Okay,
the
we
things-
do.
one
And
of
if we don't push that, forward, then hey, what are we all going to do? We're all just going to be anti-heroes? It's
No,
not
no,
going to
no, no.
work.
What happens like in Greek mythology, right? One of the things that constantly occurs in Greek mythology that we see is that the gods themselves are flawed. They're human just like us. They have issues. Zeus continually cheats on his wife, right? You know, he hides in different forms. He takes women. You know, they don't say forcibly, but we can assume it's not by, hey, he's a god, so I'm taking him. He takes women. You know what I'm trying to say? They get upset, they destroy cities.
How does that relate?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get, what I'm
the
trying to
Justice
say,
League.
but what
The
I'm try-
Justice
but what I'm
League.
trying to say
It's
is,
called the Justice League.
but what I'm trying to say is that this is not something that's new.
And Zeus
or-
isn't flawed.
Yes, he is. What I'm trying to say
Are you
is
saying Zeus grabs the kitty?
oh yeah, big time. You know what I'm trying to say? But what I'm trying to say is that because this is something that's been going on for humankind, they think of the God exactly like us. We are good, we are bad, we're not always. This whole hero thing, yes, you can do the, not the Oedipus, you can do the Argonauts, and you can do, but
see,
everybody's
well,
flawed.
see, this is
and
what-
this is the thing we have to understand.
This is
real life,
what happens
not-
when you have a this is what happens when you allow your PB education to stay there and you don't go out and reinforce it by actually reading. The Greek gods, okay, are personified aspects of human emotions. So Zeus isn't flawed, okay?
He's not?
No.
He's human in the things that he
No, he
does.
can't be human because he's a god.
He's a God, but I'm saying...
Okay, he can't be human because he's a god. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways.
So, basically, what do we think about this thing? Injustice
Nobody
2,
likes it.
ladies and gentlemen. I'm for it.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not the one they're not selling it to me. So like I guess.
Well, they're selling it to me. I have the game. I played it on my iPad. I played it on my console. And again, it's like, I mean, if you play Mortal Kombat or any of these Versus Battles games where somehow Captain America can fight Thanos in a fight, but again, it's a very look, it works for the video game because the video games themselves are very limited. We're still seeing, it's 2017 and it's still pretty much the same thing we saw with Kung Fu Fighter where this guy is going this way beating somebody up and this guy's going this way beating someone up. So it hasn't changed a whole lot from that. Even though look, we got some 360 going on over here. It's still a back and forth fight, which I enjoy to a certain extent. The premise isn't always something that I'm going to agree with, but it's mostly about the gameplay, and I do enjoy that. Story-wise, I'll get to see how it unfolds.
Well, me, from an unbiased perspective, I definitely like the gameplay. I played it a couple of times. These are the same guys who make Street Fighter, I believe it is, right? The same company.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. So you get that. That's how you have Scorpion. Scorpion is also in it. Which kind of threw me off when I first heard about it. It's like Scorpion is in this game. But Scorpion is in it, and which is pretty cool. And hopefully they'll have another another character from the game in there too. But I thought the gameplay was pretty good. It's just a fighting game. That's all it is. And then you versus your favorite characters versus the characters you don't like or whatever, or vice versa. And if you like that, if you like versus stuff, this is the game for you. I suggest you go out there, you take the $45, pull it out your pocket, just slap it on the table. I want it. Go out and get it.
Or you go to GameFly. You can go to GameFly. Those in the know all about GameFly.
Yeah, I really want to know what the public thinks about Injustice and if they care about the fact that Superman is evil. If that takes away from it,
No.
if it adds to it.
But look at this. The game.
Feel free to let us know.
That's true. The game market is bigger than the movie market now. Okay, so let's look at it. If the comic book sells 1 million comics, what are you going to get? $4 or $5 million at the max?
But why is
Yeah.
the
But I'm
game
saying-
market is
But the
bigger
game-
than the movie market because it tells a movie.
Right. but
There's a
it's not-
movie in the game,
But it's
so you're getting two
interactive,
things.
But you get the interaction and you get the story with the gameplay. You're paying $45 worth of regular movies. What, $15? so you have more out there. So this movie is gonna make a lot of money. I mean, this game is gonna make a lot of money.
Well, I mean, that goes without saying. When you're playing the game, what do you get? You're going to get anywhere from, depending on your skill level, you're going to get anywhere from 30 to 50 hours worth of gameplay, especially if they have downloadable content. Okay.
And this one
then
has
you
the
still
dark
get,
side.
and then you still, if you put the cutscenes together, you can get up to maybe half an hour, 45 minutes worth of actual story. That's like a movie.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, that's a movie. So you get the gameplay, okay, you get the challenge of the game, plus you're getting the movie, plus this is something that's going to extend on for a period of time, so you actually get a lot of enjoyment out of it, as opposed to the movies. I mean, it's hard to compete. It's like the same thing with comic books. For $5 for a comic book, when you could spread that $5 a lot, further for other stuff, you go to a movie, $15, but it's only 90 minutes? And that's the ironic thing, I think, with the movie. And the movie is 90 minutes because they say we don't have they don't believe that people have the attention span for more than like a 90-minute or 2-hour movie. But a video game, these guys will keep coming back literally over the course. Some of these games take 10, 15 hours to fully complete. And some of these guys say, I turned it over last night. Okay, I came home and they said, so the attention span is there. It's just they have to find a way to actually connect with people and get it. Not that I want to sit in a movie theater for 15 hours.
No, you don't. No, you don't. So, ladies and gentlemen, go out and get the show. Spin a rack. Professor BX, we're out.